Oh, hey y'all, Fatty here, and thanks for joining me in the pit of radioactive water where Rockwell keeps his tentacles. And today I am bringing you the how to solo tame a Giga in Ark Survival Evolved. And let's just jump into it. When people really think about a powerhouse dinosaur, like the meanest one that you really want for defense or to even go on the aggressive, people usually think about the Giga. Now the Giga is just mean and nasty, and when people really think about it, it seems really intimidating, but in my opinion, it is one of the easiest tames that you can do, especially if you're solo, if you just have enough prep time and enough know-how to get started into it. So that's what this video is going to be about today. I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks, information you need just to get this going and rock and roll, so you can get your very own solo Giga. And yeah, so the very first thing we want to talk about is what you are going to need. Now, really depending on the range of a level, that's going to vary quite differently when it comes to a Giga. Now, Dododex is always a great place to start out. If you don't know what you're going to need, how many tranks, narcotics, anything like that, always check there first. But since you're already here, let's just jump into it a little bit. So shark darts, you're going to need somewhere from the 35 to 225 range. From a level 10 to a 150. If you're talking about regular darts, you're talking from the 70 to 450 range. And if you're talking about arrows, you're going to be talking from the 96 to 632 range, just to get it knocked down and start taming it. Now, when it comes to narcotics, you're going to need somewhere between 550 for the 125, or the 150, and you're going to need about 120 for the lower level to the 10 range to keep it knocked down. Now, two little tricks I'm going to just throw out here right away is if you are knocking this down, wait until the torpor goes down a ways. So you get the time of all those narcotics that you're going to feed it giving up. So the Giga has such a large range of torpor that you can let it drain down, as much as you're comfortable. I would at least say about halfway, and then just pump a ton of narcotics. That way it has all that time for it to build up as well. So you're kind of getting a little bit more. You want to extend that time even further, use narco berries instead of narcotics, because the time it takes to register each individual narco berry is going to be more than each individual narcotic. So again, it just buys you a little bit more time, but of course you're going to need to carry more and it's a little bit more of a hassle. So give and take there. Now, if you are going to be knocking this out solo, I would not recommend using darts. Shocking darts is a different story because they're that much more effective, but regular darts, the time in between reloads can actually slow down the knocking out rate. I have done this both ways in doing my research, using arrows and just using darts. And using darts, I almost thought it wasn't working, something was happening, but it was really just, it takes that much more time between reloads that you kind of lose a little bit of that torpor. So if you're doing it solo, use arrows. If you have two people even, just offset your darts and it's going to go a ton faster than if you just use arrows. But again, solo, only use arrows. Now, the next part is you're going to say, how do I get this guy really knocked out solo? And it is the easiest trap, and all you really need is some kind of dino that you think can take a little bit of a bite. So I'm talking anything in above a K health, you should be fine. If you're in after a 150, I would be careful. If you feel confident to dodge it, if you have something fast, like a kangaroo, even a pteranodon. I know those don't have more than 1K, but if you're fast enough, you're going to be fine. With this trap, all it is about lining it up where you see the Giga. You're going to need 4 dino gates, which are really cheap, and 1 large bear trap. Now I'll get into all the resources you need for that, but basic idea of the trap is you just create a square with 1 open side, put the bear trap in it, and then you want to keep the open side pointing towards wherever the Giga is, and then you can just shoot it with an arrow, shoot it with whatever, it can take tons of damage, so shoot it with a sniper or whatever you really got that's a little bit longer range or easier to hit with, and just draw it in a straight line. As soon as you hit it, it should just make a beeline for you, and it should go into that gate. Once it gets in the gate, then all you need to do is you'll hear the bear trap snap. It won't be able to get over the gate. It'll be fine. You just run around to the side, put a 4th one down, and it's going to be trapped in there for good. And it's a really easy trap. Each dino gate only costs 170 ingots and 50 cementing paste, and a large bear trap is only going to cost 10 fiber, 5 ingots, and 15 hide. Definitely make some sleeping bags if you're worried about it, because you can always do this without a dino if you really want, if you got a little bit more movement speed, or if you can hit that shot from a little further away and move around, you're going to be fine. So if you're scared, just put down a sleeping bag, you'll live, trust me. Once you actually do knock it down, one of the most important things to do that I don't see a lot of people doing at all is going and opening up Dodo Decks and go to the stat calculator. Now this is one of the most important things to do where people just kind of forget it. And what you can really do is just go there, type in the dinosaur level before you tame it and everything, and it's going to kind of give you a little breakdown of the stats so you can see where some of those points are going. So every time you knock out a dinosaur, it's going to have kind of a random roll of these stats based on its levels. And I'm not going to go into the whole taming breeding guide on this at all, but just the nitty gritty of it is you can enter these points in, just look at what you got, move the calculator around, and it'll tell you if it's got good health, if it's got good melee, stamina, or if it's got a bunch of wasted points into speed and stuff like that. So it's just definitely something really important to check out as soon as you knock it down, because it could still be 150, but it could be way worse than like a 135 that just has all its point into health and oxygen, or the weight and oxygen for a Giga, which is not what you want. So just make sure you check that out in the stat calculator first. Really easy tame. Doing it solo is not as difficult as you may think it is. It may seem a little intimidating at first, but really it is one of the more easy ones just to get into a trap. You got plenty of distance. They're not the fastest moving. I guess one little other piece of advice I would say before you close out of this video is that just don't put your dinosaurs too close to where your trap is, because it will bite over the dino gate, and it has a pretty decent range on that little bite. So just watch out for that, keep your head on a swivel while you're trying to knock it out too, because people do love to come and mess with people, especially when they're taming a Giga, but you guys should be fine. If you guys need any more tips, tricks, help like that, this is part of my official tame, so if you guys need any tips, tricks, or anything like that, please check out the channel. This is part of my how to official series, so all of this advice and data and whatnot information is going to be on official rates as well. So if you are doing anything a little bit faster, you guys should be fine. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.